Hi everyone. So in this video, we're going to work through a Year 12 stats question from the AS 2018 paper. Now, this question is about discrete random variables. So a biased spinner can only land on one of the four numbers 1, 2, 3, or 4. The random variable x represents the number that the spinner lands on after a single spin. And we're told that the probability that x is r is equal to the probability that x is r plus 2 for r equals 1 and 2. So given that the probability x equals 2 is 0.35, we want to find the complete probability distribution of x for part A. But just before we get into the video, I want to make you all aware about a web app that I have created. Now, this app that you see on the screen here is designed to predict the 2027 Edexcel A-level Maths topics that will come up in your 2027 exams. So now that the 2026 exams are finished, we now have access to those questions. So what I've done is I've analysed all of the questions from 2026 back to 2018 and also including the sample and the specimen Edexcel papers. And I've used that data to put together a model which will predict the topics for the 2027 exams. And if we just scroll down here, you will see how accurate this model that I'm using is. So if you do want to have access to the full predictions for the 2027 exams and also have access to a web app which will generate mock exam papers based on these predictions, that is what you can get if you do sign up to this app. Just go to the link in the description of this video, and also you can get the link to this web app in my bio. Click that link, sign up. You can see on the top right of the page here, you can sign up to the app, and you'll be able to access all of these 2027 predictions. Now, I think the easiest way to go about this would be to just use these R values, so R equals 1, R equals 2, and just sub these into our probability distribution that we're given here. So the probability that x equals 1 is equal to the probability that x equals 1 plus 2. So in other words, 3, x equals 3. And if we sub in 2, probability x equals 2 for R, then this is the probability that x equals, again, 2 plus 2, which is 4. So it equals 4 there. Now, we're told from the question the probability x equals 2 is 0.35. So that's 0.35. So if we do a little table here, so let's put R here. Let's put the probability x equals R here as well in this row. So we can put 1, 2, 3, 4 in the columns here. And then now we can insert the probabilities. So 3 there, 4 there. So we have the probability that x is 2. Again, we know that 0.35. Probability x is 4, 0.35 as well. So to work out the missing probabilities, we can just do 1 minus 0.35 minus the other 0.35. So this leaves us with 0.3. So the probability x equals 1, which again is the same as the probability x equals 3, is 0.3 divided by 2 because they're both the same probability. And again, probabilities add up to 1. So that's going to be 0.15 in there, and that's going to be 0.15 there, and that is our probability distribution. Great, so that's part A. Now for part B, so Ambro spins the spinner 60 times. Find the probability that more than half of the spins land on the number 4. Give your answer to 3 sig figs. So we're spinning the spinner 60 times. So we've got here a fixed number of spins, or you could think about this as a fixed number of trials. And then we have a fixed probability of landing on the number 4, which we just found to be 0.35 from our table. So what distribution do you think this is? This is going to be a binomial distribution. So let's put part B here, and let's say that y is equal to number of 4s that we land on. For some reason, my pen is lagging a little bit, but oh well, the number of 4s out of 60 spins. So y will be binomial with 60 trials and a success rate of 0.35. Now, the question wants us to find the probability that more than half of the spins land on 4. So what's half of 60? Well, that's 30. So we want y to be bigger than 30. So probability y is greater than 30. Now, this is exactly the same as the probability that y is greater than or equal to 31, because if you're bigger than 30, then that's obviously bigger than or equal to 31. In other words, this is 1 minus the probability that y is less than or equal to 30. So remember, again, we're dealing with discrete values here, integer values. So what we can now do is we can now use the binomial CD on the calculator to make this calculation. So 1 minus, and then I'm going to go to my calculator, binomial CD mode. So if I do that right now, binomial CD, and then insert here 30, number of trials 60, 0.35 success rate. I'm guessing here 0.99411. So we do 1 minus this number, 1 minus the answer, and this gives us 0. And then 0.00589 to 3 sig figs. So remember, the question did say that we want the answer to 3 sig figs. So that would be our answer down there. Perfect. So now let's go on to part C, the final part. So the random variable y is equal to 12 over x. Find the probability that y minus x is less than or equal to 4. Just another quick interjection. If you are currently doing Edexcel A-level Maths and you feel that you're struggling or you're falling behind and you're not quite getting that grade that you need to get in order to get into university, or perhaps you're a parent watching this and you're worried about your child's progress, what you can do is you can head to my website. Now, my website is in my bio and also in the description of this video. Click onto the link and you can watch a brief video about me and my background. You see this video on the screen here. In this video, I outline the style and the structure of my tuition. You can also read some of my reviews and testimonials from other parents and students who have worked with me on this website too. So if you feel like one-to-one tuition is something that would benefit you in order to get the grades that you need to get, then again, just head to this website. And what you can do is you can book a free 90-minute call with me. And in that call, we'll spend some time discussing you, your situation, your ambitions, what you want to achieve, the grade you want to get, and why you feel like you're struggling and why you feel like maybe tuition is the right path for you. And we'll also spend some time basically doing a free trial lesson where I will help you out for free with any particular topics or any particular areas of the syllabus that you know you need help with. And by the end of the call, we can then discuss whether one-to-one tuition is the right path for you to get you that grade you need to get. So once again, the link to my website is in the bio and in the description of this video. Now with this one, it's probably easier that we do another table here. Let's do another table. So let's put X here and then let's put Y here. So we're told from the information that Y is 12 over X. So Y equals 12 over X. So remember, the spinner can land on 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So with Y for the first column, 12 divided by 1 is obviously 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6, 12 divided by 3 is 4, and 12 over 4 is 3. Now we know the probabilities because we worked out the probabilities before. So probability that X equals R, we just like put X equals X here or X equals R there, just to make it clear what we're calculating here. We know that probability is 0.15. We know this probability is 0.35, and we know this is 0.15, and this is 0.35. So the question was to calculate the probability that Y minus X is less than or equal to 4. So what we're going to do now, let's just add in another row. So Y minus X. So with the first column, Y is 12, X is 1. Y minus X is 11. With the next column, Y is 6, X is 12, X is 2, 6 minus 2 is 4. With the next one, Y is 4, X is 3, 4 minus 3 is 1, and then lastly, 3 take away 4 is minus 1. So again, we're looking for Y minus X to be less than or equal to 4. Now, obviously 11 is not less than or equal to 4, so we can ignore this first probability there. 4 is less than or equal to 4 because 4 is equal to 4. So is 1, 1 is less than 4, and minus 1 is less than 4. So our final answer, the probability that the difference between Y and X is less than or equal to 4 is this probability plus this probability plus this probability, okay? So 0.35 plus 0.15 plus 0.35. So this is going to give us 0.85 as a final answer to this question. Hopefully everything there did make sense. If you do have any queries or comments on the process for this discrete random variables question, do let me know. Otherwise, I will catch you in my next video.